pancake song.
Do it live. Do it live.
All right, 15 seconds.
Okay.
Not the pancake song again, Gordy.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, every week we have to play the pancake song. It's part of it's in the
5 seconds. Here we go.
Madison weather.
Whatever.
It is time to wake up now.
Wake up! Don't sleeping around for me.
Rise and shine. 6 a.m. and your hand can't make it to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling you that it's too early, too dark, and too cold to get out of bed. But you didn't ask their opinion. The voice you've chosen to listen to is one of defiance. A voice that says there was a reason you set that alarm in the first place. So sit up, put your feet on the floor, and don't look back, because we've got work to do. Welcome to the grind.
Go yourself.
You want to do it now? I'd love to do it right now.
With lots of love and a hearty, how you doing this morning, neighbor? It's the John and Gordy Show, only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Hey, another great, fantastic morning. Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. And if you're just happening to catch a little audio in the background, we normally just broadcast from Short Stack. Now we are in the kitchen. We are helping out. They need
Dishwasher. Where's the scrubber?
I'm getting soaked with this thing.
What?
The sprayer is
We're
just
on here?
all over the place.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're Short Stack Eatery, 301 West Johnson Street. We'll be here all morning till 8 a.m. And Kath Lake is joining us this morning, as well as later on we'll have a special guest, John Kovalik, is going to stop by.
John's going to be here, the cartoonist, former columnist, millionaire, guy who has a very, very popular game.
Stop telling he's a millionaire. It's just unfair.
You don't think that's...
I don't know if it's right. It just seems wrong.
Well, we're all envious.
That's true.
Yeah. We started his career, basically.
We did. We kept him
many
going.
years ago.
You
we
did?
start all these
We
guys.
energized him.
We get them on the air, and then they do great things, and then we never hear from them.
Right.
again.
They just forget about us, giving him that platform.
Well, it's only been 30 years since you last saw him.
Yeah, well.
It could be. I mean, that's how long
It's been a long time
since we touched base with each other, but I'm sure that he's very successful and happy.
Apples to apples.
And we're
Made so.
we're working in the kitchen at Short Stack.
Hey, it's all relative. It's all good. It's good work.
But I feel good about it.
yeah.
Back at the blue collar job that I had way back when I first started.
Yes. It's full circle.
Yeah,
It's all
it
good.
does. I love.
And it's 44 degrees, weatherman. 44 degrees.
Is that what you're...
That's what mine says.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
a hard walk
Okay.
from across the isthmus.
I'm 36, but that's
Oh.
if you
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's
Really?
way too
That's
cold.
correct.
That's
We'll go
way
with
too
that.
cold.
64 is the expected high today. So, yeah, maybe the temperature's jumping up quickly already this
It
morning.
is.
Yes, yeah. But,
Do we all have to rely on my watch?
Yeah,
here?
let's-
43 degrees.
well, okay, well,
Maybe that you got
things change at the top of
terrible
the hour.
temperatures.
Okay. Hey,
Where
I'm
did
not
you-
a weatherman anymore. That's why I turned in my badge many years
See?
ago.
See, he's hyperventilating.
It's the 13th day of March. It's Wednesday. For
It
this.
is. It
Are you
is.
ready?
Yep.
Yeah, we got a
Was
lot
that
of
a
stuff.
McDonald's special that you had up there?
You don't just drop. Okay, what is it today? Is it Jewel Day going on today? Good Samaritan Day, Open Umbrella Indoors Day,
God.
Earmuff Day, Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day,
help us all.
or Penny Loafers Day.
Penny
Which one
Loafers
of those?
Day. It's not that.
You are correct, sir. Ding, 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 ding.
That's too easy. He threw it in at the
Yeah,
end.
we
He was
don't even
reading
care
the rest.
anymore. Okay.
It seems
That
like
is-
it seems like I would know, right? I make it sound very confident,
Yes.
but I'm just taking a shot, and that's it.
To
No
run through
insights.
All of these
And
days.
no prizes except I'll
Let's
get
just-
you coffee.
Let's just pick
That's
one
right.
or two of these that interest us. How about National Dermatology
interesting.
Are they?
I
You
see
think
a dermatologist every year, except this year because I've been too busy. But
Okay.
you have to go every year
But
if you can.
they're too busy. You never.
Oh, I know.
You're never able to get in.
No.
This is a day that we honor board-certified dermatologists. You know, they got to be board-certified.
Yeah.
If they're not board-certified,
They're
they're not
just
real
stalkers.
Yeah, they're just making it up.
Strip down. Let me take a look.
Get this. Get this. They're saviors of our skin. Our
Yes.
largest
They
organ.
are.
Did you know your skin is your largest organ?
and they get the long period of time to get it
Oh
diagnosed.
my, you're such a
right?
complainer.
It's
Make an appointment.
It's just ridiculous. No, it takes so long. If you get a spot on your skin, you're sitting there
Oh,
freaking out, thinking,
yeah.
"Well, this is cancer. This is some
Emergency
kind of melanoma,"
ones, yes.
and then you want to see them, and they don't schedule you right away.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I have it annually, so I just wait. I just put it in the calendar
That's
a year
nice.
from
That's
now.
good. That's good. Yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
get something scary looking, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's always a panic thing.
All right.
Of course, your doctor will see you immediately and then schedule
Yes.
for a dermatologist if it's serious.
Yes, if it's serious, they will.
It's National
There is a
Jewel.
way around that.
It's National Jewel Day. Yeah.
You have to
Sam,
say that
you've got
right.
you've got a song for that, right? Let's
Jewel
see.
Day?
Yes. The day is
There
also
really is. Huh?
recognizes precious and semi-precious
Stones. is the word you're
stones.
looking for.
Yeah,
Get
you
those
might
glasses on your nose just the right
Oh,
way.
Lord. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Lucy in the Sky
Do
with
not-
Diamonds. Never mind. Okay.
Do not even. Oh my God.
You know what? It's one of my biggest pet peeves, though, when I hear
What?
an ad for a jewelry store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say it in a very unreal way. They go, jewelry.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Jewelry.
They make sure that second E
All the
is
syllables.
Yes, jewel.
pronounced.
Yeah.
Jewelry. And it's like, don't we just say jewelry?
I thought you were going to say that
Jewelry.
the ads usually make it sound like women only live for diamonds
Oh,
and
yeah, right.
and
I
they're our
think-
best
I think men have stopped that little tradition.
All right. Let's move on. National Open an Umbrella Indoors
It's like
Day.
Valentine's Day, just make it up.
Why would we have a day to open an umbrella?
Yeah.
indoors
Indoors.
because that's bad luck.
Is it?
Theoretically.
Is it really?
Yeah, what is
Yes.
that all about?
Well, the national are not used for any bad luck. That's a scientific experiment.
Are they
according to the
asking
National
for
Day
our
calendar.
input
Where
at
are
all?
you getting your
make up,
data?
They just make this crap up, you know?
And you're proliferating it.
Well, I know. We've
But
got to do
are
something
they
to get
calling
warmed up
people
here.
to find out if they open an umbrella and what happened for that day? Is there some kind of research project going on? Because I've never been
Apparently.
called.
Apparently.
I've never reported any problems. I've never actually opened an umbrella
Well,
indoors.
there you go. So you have no data.
It's actually also
Why would they call you?
You're right. You're right. They knew.
it's National Earmuff Day.
They're rough.
Recognize the creation of the protection that keeps us invented the earmuffs
Can
way
I tell
back
you,
when.
I saw in the grocery store not one but two young women, college students presumably, in the grocery store wearing headphones like these
Yeah.
with their phones. Noise canceling. They went out into the world like, I don't
Yes.
want to hear anything
I've seen that
anybody
a
has
lot.
to say.
I've
They're
seen
wearing
that.
full-size headphones
Right.
these days.
And that should keep your ears warm.
It keeps your ears warm, I'm saying.
So there you go.
It was invented, the earmuffs were invented by a 15-year-old kid back in March 13th of 1877.
Get out.
15-year-old
15-year-old.
Chester, where's Chester's
That's a
last
great
name?
idea,
Hang on.
kid.
You know, he's probably not listening. You don't probably need his last name.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
How long
Chester
ago was
Greenwood.
that?
Yeah, 15 years
Oh,
old.
look
Okay.
at that. Look at
Say-
that button.
oh, just shiny
Oh,
object.
yeah. No, it's just squirrel.
Guy's got this little
What happened?
mini bike. He's driving down the street
He's
on a
got-
little mini bike, and
Missed
it's
it.
lit up
With Christmas lights.
with a lot of LEDs. It's just maybe he tore it off one of the trees.
Cool enough.
And he's trying.
I don't
He's
see
trying
him
to
on
escape
the-
while the lights are flickering.
He's
and-
trying not to be hit by a bus is what he's trying to do
Yes.
because
Hey, Sam, you've got the history day.
Nothing.
Sure, yeah. Let's take a look at the
And we can't hear
today
the
in
music.
history today.
All right.
yeah.
Oh, you're cutting in and out,
today-
Sam. We're
I
not
know
aware of
you
what
guys are a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But let's take a
Okay.
look at
Go ahead.
the history books today. Today in 1781 rather, the first planet discovered since antiquity,
This is
Uranus.
awesome.
This
This
is
is
working
great radio.
so well.
Yes. Sam, you're
Sam,
cutting in and out.
we cannot hear you, so we're just going to move forward here, okay?
Alrighty.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Overnight.
Okay, so now the Supreme Court this is ridiculous. Every time we talk about the Supreme Court now, it's the liberal Supreme Court. We never said that about the Supreme Court when they were dominated by conservatives and Republicans.
You're talking about the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Yes,
now.
but now it's the liberal Supreme Court.
Right. Yes.
But anyway, the Supreme Court now has approved taking up the issue of absentee drop boxes. Remember when the Republican Supreme Court decided that drop boxes were just a really bad thing?
Yeah, they didn't like them at all. They wanted to get rid of them. All kinds of things could happen.
Oh, I know. Yes, they were the downfall of society. If you just put one up on a post someplace, they were tamper-proof. They were put up by the election facilities in your community,
right?
And they were very, very protected and very, very solid. And yet, for saying no, you can't have them, that was legislation from the bench.
Right.
There was no law saying you couldn't have it or you could have it. So sitting there saying no, you can't have it, that's legislating from the bench, as far as I can interpret.
So so now it's okay?
Now they're going to take a look at it. It's been challenged. Someone wants to see these drop boxes made legal again.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's in the courts.
Well, good.
We'll see what happens with that, right?
I like that.
Yeah, well, it's very convenient for absentee
Took the words
voters.
right out of my mouth. Yeah,
I did,
convenient.
didn't I?
They should have them at convenience stores. They're so convenient.
There you go.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
The big thing was they want them right next to the poll. They wanted next to the city hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, we've got to take a break.
Well, we're coming up on a break. Yeah. In just a few seconds here. We are live at Short Stack Eatery. It's at 301 West Johnson Street, right downtown Madison, the corner of Johnson and State. John and Gordy, along Catherine Lake. A little bit later on, John Cavalli. We're coming right back.
All right, what's
Okay, we
going
got
on
one
over there?
minute break here. So did we go
You guys
off?
hear me right now?
What happened?
God, the internet
I
is
hear you right now.
awful. It is terrible. Your audio is cutting in and out.
The
like
internet
crazy.
is awful and terrible. All the time?
Gordy, what do you
Since we
Do
started?
you have anything random running on your computer right now that it would be slowing that down?
Let me turn everything else. Well, I had the
We
National
don't-
Day
we don't need
calendar.
the-
Hang on.
We don't need the time.
Okay.
We don't need that.
Yeah, let's take the time off. We can go by the other clock. The other clock is right? I've turned
atomic
everything
clock?
else off now. Hang on. One more thing. Okay. The atomic clock is off. Everything is off except StreamYard.
Fingers crossed for now. I can download yesterday's.
Yeah, I
part of
kept opening the
yesterday's show.
date.
What? Here, we're coming back in.
No, keep talking. Keep talking. I want to make sure that you're clear here. Are you talking now? We're coming back now.
Mad Radio. WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. It's the John and Gordy Show. You can give us a call, 608-879-8255 or 879-TALK, or go on your Civic Media app and can contact us that way. Call us or text us, and we'll take your calls if you want to get in on the program. Catherine Lake is with us this morning, and she's gotten the coffee for us. We didn't want to, make any, some kind of gender thing about that.
Yeah.
That's, okay.
I needed to get up.
But you needed to get up.
Well, she's our executive producer today here,
That's
on-site
Is that it?
executive
Okay.
producer and
Fantastic.
director of programming.
So you gave her a title, and she feels better about it.
Yeah, but, you got coffee for John. Thank you very much.
You said you were
Of course,
good.
you have your own.
Yeah, I got a little bit left.
That
Yeah, it's
purple
okay.
cup is yours,
Oh,
but I
thank
can
you.
refill that if
No,
you.
no, it's fine.
They're giving you
It's all
the
good.
devil eye for bringing in
really
your own
is
coffee at a
all
restaurant.
about
This is
you.
not
Well,
good.
I was here, setting up 45 minutes before you guys arrived, but that's okay. I don't mind.
Wow.
Happy to
Mom
do
and
it.
Dad are arguing. I'm getting
A
uncomfortable.
lot of bitterness.
Speaking of restaurant talk,
Yeah.
because we're here at Short Stack Eatery, we love being here. This is our
Yeah.
third
Oh,
time
yeah,
here.
this is great stuff.
Everybody is great to us here, and we appreciate Alex and also Sinead and everybody here. But I heard this was breaking news yesterday. You remember we were talking about a couple of months ago about Lane's Bakery closing down?
Yes.
They had been there for decades, like 40 years, something crazy.
It was really horrible to see them go away.
It was, and it was family operation. It was very sad because everybody loved Lane's Bakery, but it was time for them to shut it down. There's a new restaurant going to go in there, Tequila Los Atlantis. Now, I understand they already have a couple of locations. They've been around Madison for quite a while, but they're going to get the approval today from the Madison Community Development Authority, it looks like. So they're going to be opening up a new location there, right where Lane's Bakery used
Say
to
that
be.
name
So
one more
that's
time,
good.
Mr. Spanish speaker.
It's Tequila Los Atlantis.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Tequila, what does that mean? My sister's over there. What does Tequila Los Atlantis mean?
Lost Atlantis.
Lost?
I don't know, but
Tequilas? What
it's-
is Tequilas?
it's
She
owned.
can't even hear me over there. She's all the way across the room.
It's owned by the Philippe Falcone family. And so it's a great family operation. I'm glad that they got that location going, and they're very happy to be there because that's in an area that has a pretty high population of Hispanic community, that part of Park Street.
Well, that's true.
So that's great.
But
Yeah.
but the thing
Well,
is,
the
what
food
are
is
they?
wonderful.
So what's that area going to do now about not having any donuts
Well,
accessible?
I mean, that's a tragedy.
Isn't that the point?
That is the point of life. Donuts nearby.
Donut. You got to have a donut every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
right
have
down the street.
They have a location on Raymond Road and also somewhere else on the southwest side. Oh, at the Meadowwood Shopping Center.
Oh,
So
very
good
good.
for them.
Nice.
Yeah, we're glad that that
Expanding.
location. That's a great location.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So anyway,
All right.
all right.
Well,
Back to-
let's get back to the latest breaking news.
Oh, that's right.
That's out there. The Senate, before they left for vacation to run for office, there's so many things to brag about. The Senate fired 8 Democratic appointees by Governor Evers, and that included 2 UW regents.
Yeah.
And one of those regents just happens to be a former representative, assembly person. And now he's thinking, well, if you're going to fire me here, I think I'm going to run for office again.
Is he doing that?
And yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is probably going to happen.
Name names.
What's that?
Name names.
I don't have the names.
Oh, darn.
No, I just printed these out really quick. These are
Wow.
late-breaking stories.
Late-breaking.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. 8 Democratic appointees fired. These 2 UW regents fired. The problem here is, and we're seeing this, Republicans don't really want representation. The other side. They don't want the other side to be represented in government at all. They're just cleaning them out. They're taking
They
care
keep
of
firing
them.
people.
They don't want any woke individuals, which is another word for liberal or progressive individuals. They're they're clearing them out, and they keep clearing them out, and Evers keeps putting new people in the place,
Right.
and then they clear those people out. And I'm wondering where Evers is getting people to do this.
This endless supply
I know.
of wokes.
It's like, well, you'll be in office maybe, doing this for us, maybe for 5 months, 6 months, and they'll be back and they'll
We'll
fire
put you at the
you.
bottom of the list again, and you'll come back, bubble back up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why can't they
Why
reappoint these
not?
people, right?
Just put them back in. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Just if they're going to keep doing this and being very partisan and not wanting fair representation in this state, then let's just keep recycling the same people over and over.
Why not?
I think it's a great idea.
That's her idea.
Yeah.
Catherine came up with that.
Thank you very much, Catherine. We appreciate
Solve all
that.
the problems.
Did you hear about the news overnight of Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
Remember Aaron Rodgers?
Yes,
he was
I
a
do.
big deal
He was
here
a
in
big
Wisconsin for a little
or
while.
something. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure.
He's going to be vice president someday.
What
He's
are you talking
mine.
about? What are you
Yes.
going on about?
Well, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., remember him?
Yes.
He's still running for president. He
He
started
is?
as a Democrat, then he went independent. He's about
that's right,
13% in the polls. One poll I saw.
he's a
yeah.
foil.
Yes. Well, he's suggesting that he has talked to Aaron Rodgers about being his running mate, and Aaron Rodgers is interested in that. Now, Aaron Rodgers, he's kind
not
of busy.
He's not a political guy. at
He
all.
broke his ankle or something.
Yeah,
What-
something like
he
that. And
tore
he's
his Achilles tendon.
He's on the mend, and he'll come back to play for the Jets.
Yes. Well,
Wait. How can he be VP candidate even, let alone VP, if he's on the field?
that's a great question.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Why
Well,
not?
I think maybe why
Why
not?
not?
2 jobs.
Yeah.
You have 2 jobs. You
He's
have 2
got
jobs.
he's
Everybody
plenty
has
of
2
money.
jobs.
He doesn't need the money. He's not doing it for that. The vice presidency doesn't pay what being quarterback to the New York Jets pays.
I would suspect not.
It's just a shot, but I don't think he's going to take the job.
Well,
or the
guess
offer
what?
for that
There's
matter.
also another candidate that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has brought to the table. That's Jesse the Body Ventura,
Oh,
former wrestler.
my
So it's
God.
between
Well,
Aaron
at least
Rodgers.
he had a job that was in politics, but what has he been doing lately?
I don't know. I thought he was
Jesse.
dead.
Yeah, Gordy thought he was dead.
I
no.
thought he died
And-
years ago, but
Oh.
apparently he's not dead.
At this point, right?
Yeah.
They propped him up.
So we'll see what happens with that. But
I
that's
gotta Google that
that's
man.
yes. Jesse the Body Ventura is in the running for vice president for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So is Aaron Rodgers. Now I can't wait to hear because Aaron Rodgers, he's kind of gotten political the last few years
Well, he
with his
has.
anti-vax
Exactly.
stand,
Oh.
and that lines up kind of with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And
So-
they have some controversial ideas.
The upshot is, right, he's got 13%,
Yes.
presuming of 100, and the other 2 are going to split, the other 2 being, of course, Biden and Trump. Who is Robert F. Kennedy going to take from?
It's
Trump.
looking
He'll take from Trump.
Well, it's not what the polls are saying, unfortunately.
He's
no,
not a Kennedy.
They're-
Stop being fooled.
Yeah, there's some Democrats that really are leaning,
Yeah.
in
That's
that
not
direction.
Kind
So
of, kind of a protest
it could
vote.
be a spoiler.
Nobody
Yeah.
in
Because of-
Madison would.
because of the
No,
for him.
I don't
Nobody
think
in
so.
Madison.
Not in Madison, but
the conflict in Gaza, I believe, is really affecting Biden awfully, and this whole thing about getting anti-vaxxers in as a party is not going to work.
that's right. And we'll be interested to see what the blowback here in Wisconsin about Aaron Rodgers possibly being vice president candidate. That should be interesting.
Ridiculous.
It's 29 past the hour. We've got news and sports and Pam Yankee with a farm report, and then we're coming back live from Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison.
As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
Sam,
Yeah.
any better?
It's better. It's listenable now.
But is it still washing out here and there?
Here and there, yeah.
Ugh. Well, we've turned off everything that we can turn off.
Yeah.
Where was that? Where was the? Did you say that you checked the router here, or
I didn't check the router. I just did a speed test on Wi-Fi.
on the
my
Wi-Fi?
phone. Yeah.
Is there a way that we could maybe just use Gordy's camera instead of mine? I've got tabs. They're all asleep, but I don't trust any of this stuff, right?
I thought that's what we did last week.
Well, no. I think what was bogging it down was just Gordy's computer was a little overloaded, as well
Yeah,
as
I
the
had
internet.
the National Day calendar up, and then I was trying to get to the separate pages, and it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was going slow.
I've got about 20 tabs going. Again,
you close any of them?
They're resting. They're asleep. But my
As it happens,
It's not. I
My
don't think it's
browser
you,
has-
John.
tabs don't sleep.
It's either.
Yeah.
It's either Gordy's
Tabs don't
computer,
sleep.
slow
They eat.
internet, or a combination thereof, or
Let me just
somebody
see if
else
there's
is on the
anything else.
Wi-Fi over there, just downloading like gigantic files right now.
that,
Well, from what I understand, open tabs do eat bandwidth, and I don't know what kind of bandwidth we're talking about, but it does tax the computer.
Open ones, but Edge has a way to completely
Oh.
put them to rest.
Oh, Edge. I don't use
Well,
Edge. I
right,
use
but
Chrome.
John, I don't think that you're really having your computer is having much of an influence on this right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
I've got everything else closed on here.
You've
so
sold me on that.
Sure, you're
Yeah.
fine.
You sold me on that.
It's mostly okay.
We were
It's
off the
washing
air,
out.
right? I mean, I didn't hear anything on the app when I pulled it up, and then it came back.
Yeah, we were off for like 20 or 30 seconds at one point. I was
Okay,
scrambling
good.
I was scrambling to get a replay going, but then you came back.
All right.
We'll have to
Where are
address
we?
this another time.
Yeah.
Help us all, please. Help us all. Okay.
Hostility for churches.
No, let's do.
A time before vaccines.
Could, but I think I have.
People should not retire.
Don't retire. That's what I'm looking for right now. Because I love Ben
It's
Shapiro so much.
11C.
Oh, it is. Okay, there it is. I'm not even using my new system.
I'm using your system, and you're not.
That's great.
Like, I got this new system. It's
Yeah,
great.
It's great. Huh? Oh God.
Oh, what did I do? I hit something on the mouse now. Here we go.
Let's see.
Are we going to try and give away those tickets? I got a couple of tickets.
Sure.
Second hour.
Yeah. What do you want to do by phone?
I need
or-
to ask. No, let's use the new system. But how do we say that? You got to. What do
I
people
gotta
need to
get
do?
into the Twitter. I have the login,
Into the
but it
Twitter.
keeps blocking me from logging in.
Okay. Well, I don't know if these tickets will be that popular anyway, so maybe we just phone them in.
Oh. I guess
Unless you can get into Twitter. Got 2 tickets to the Legacy Dinner Theater in Wisconsin Dells, including dinner
Yeah, I
for the
know.
Beatlemania show. It's not Beatlemania, it's Liverpool Legends. I got to write that down. Saturday night.
Did you hear that a
1 minute.
cargo pallet of batteries has just re-entered the atmosphere?
No.
This is.
What? A cargo pallet of batteries.
I have a story for you.
That sounds very heavy.
Oh, boy.
Very heavy.
You've heard of throwing your car batteries into the ocean. Wait for throwing them into space.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wait, it's entering the Earth's atmosphere?
A pallet of used batteries from the International Space
Oh,
Station
wonderful.
re-entered Earth's atmosphere. I'm not going to say.
Are they thinking
I
it's
want
going to
your
burn up?
reaction on air.
No, come on. You gotta tell me.
20 seconds.
Here we go.
20 seconds.
I'm going to play the pancake thing. I know you guys love it.
Oh, I love it. It's anything irritating.
Don't
we'll
say
play it.
that. I don't want to hear.
That's
don't like
that's
that,
a Trump
Catherine?
supporter. That's a Trump
I don't.
supporter. Perfect. Keep doing it. I don't know who the singer is, but it's really good.
Yeah, what a voice.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Liquid Lawyer, the product to turn to when your liquid plumber overcharges you.
It's perfect.
Wow.
That's like a rolling laugh kind of joke as you really start to get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are live at Short Stack Eatery this morning. John and Gordy and Catherine Lake And Catherine brought her sister along here.
I did.
Sherry, has she ever seen you actually broadcast from anywhere?
No, she doesn't give it. She doesn't give anything from it. No.
She doesn't care.
I go to her concerts all the time, but does she come out here to watch me babble on the radio? Absolutely not.
Is she asleep right now?
Yeah, I think she does.
Could you nudge her a little bit?
Give her a push. Give her a push.
You know, she's a world-class oboist, first chair,
really?
As high as you can go. Traveled all over the world playing oboe.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean,
somebody famous is in the restaurant with
famous
decades.
to other
right
oboe
now.
players for sure.
I wonder if she could play this on the oboe.
My brother.
Pancake.
My
I'm a
brother.
pancake.
Oh, look.
I'm a pancake. I'm a pancake. I'm a pancake. I'm a pancake.
It's their favorite song here at Short Stack Eatery. They love it.
I'm a pancake.
We should come up with harmony for this.
Yeah, you
They
think so?
could sing along.
I'm a pancake.
Oh my God.
It's really difficult. I learned a lot about the oboe a couple of days ago. That they make their own reeds.
Yes.
How that works,
Yeah.
and it's a really fine art to do that.
It's
It
very
takes
different.
a lot of practice.
It's not like a clarinet. Don't call it a clarinet. Because
It's not a
clarinets have a
clarinet.
very simple reed. You pick them up at Walgreens, pull them out of a box.
Walgreens.
Oboists have to make
Didn't
them
know
from
that.
scratch with bamboo.
Really?
From southern France. I kid you not. That is literally what they do.
And they use special knives and everything. I mean, Sherry showed us a little kit that she carries around with her.
Looks like a serial killer's kit.
It does.
It does.
It's a surgical
And she
kit.
gets through, I don't know how she gets them on the airplane. I don't understand. She flies with these
It
knives.
sounds like she's trying to get a little sympathy for playing the oboe.
It's a very difficult instrument.
My brother played oboe.
Did he really?
And he played first chair. He was very, very proud. of
How
his,
long did he play?
You're making this crap up.
How long did he play?
I don't know, through high school and college.
In college,
and,
too?
Yeah, sure. He was in the orchestra. He, like I said, he was first chair.
Yeah.
Did pretty well.
That's very good.
Yeah.
They're making the reeds then. You know what it's like.
I bet. I've seen it.
You've seen the strings on your parents'
It's
furniture?
mind-numbing.
Yeah,
right.
it is mind-numbing.
Does he still play the oboe?
No, he doesn't.
Give it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to be only
Wait.
interested in the oboe.
Don't you have-
Nothing else.
Don't you have to be in an orchestra to play oboe?
Yes. No, not
Okay, well,
necessarily.
you could-
not in an orchestra, but yeah.
You could certainly play it out
Solo.
on the patio.
Or quartets, or there are smaller, configurations.
Yeah.
Quintets.
Oh, yeah, it's quintets.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't
Wedding.
know.
Oh,
That's,
some
we should
quintets.
have an oboe at a
Oh,
wedding.
yes.
That would be very nice.
Oh, it is. At funerals. She's played funerals, too.
Oh,
It's a very forlorn instrument,
sure,
like the
bring us
cello.
down. We're talking about
I'm
weddings.
sorry.
Oh,
I got something to
oh,
bring
wait,
you
we
really
don't wanna
down.
Oh,
forget
tell
about
us the
funerals.
story,
I got a-
Catherine.
I got
She
a
brought
story
some.
for you.
Okay.
A pallet of used batteries
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've seen those.
has re-entered Earth's atmosphere over the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, wait a minute. Where did they come from?
Because
What-
we are disgusting. Humans are disgusting. It's not enough that we ruin our oceans.
Right.
We're ruining our orbit, too.
So these are from
Space
the
is infinite. Just throw it out.
Yes.
The space station put a pallet of batteries, used batteries, out. Just toss it out.
Why wouldn't they shoot it toward the sun?
Here's a good idea.
You know,
Let's ruin our sun. Brilliant idea.
It's not gonna,
I
it's
wish
not gonna
you were
ruin
with
it. It's
NASA.
just a pallet. The sun is huge.
I don't
mean,
know.
The sun
I
can
think
absorb
it.
it.
Could do something to it.
Didn't they, like,
what you-
in one of the Superman movies, take all the nuclear weapons and shoot them into the sun?
And
Sure.
what happened? Did the Earth end in the movie?
But Superman
No,
threw
they-
them into the
Right,
sun.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, they did
We
that
don't
to
have
get rid
any-
of the nukes.
We don't know how to propel this
Well,
pallet of
Interesting you should
batteries
use
into
that
the
term.
sun.
It's been tossed by the Canadom robotic arm.
Oh, no.
In March of 21, this happened. They tossed it out. So it's been in our orbit, and now it's just coming in.
Well,
It'll burn up.
Why would they
It'll
do
burn up in the
that?
orbit. We don't have to send it into the sun
No,
where
it's
it'll
coming
burn
down.
up as well.
It's coming down. It's not clear whether the entire pallet burned up upon reentry
Oh,
or
boy.
if some parts of it survived the heat. But you know where it is. It's in the Gulf.
Okay.
Oh,
Which
Mexico.
is a good place, yeah.
All right. Well, they can have it.
I just thought it was Science Minute.
And if you're a cruise
Good.
ship, just
Hopefully,
look
it didn't
out.
hit anybody.
Look
Really,
out.
the only thing this science story served was to make us sound like idiots.
Sam?
Even NASA agrees that you're supposed to throw your used batteries in the ocean. Are you guys
That's
familiar
frightening,
with
isn't it?
Really?
Are
No.
you guys
No.
familiar with this meme?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, it's a joke that people take like ironically really seriously. You're supposed to throw your used car batteries into the ocean instead of taking them to AutoZone to exchange. It's a safe and perfectly legal thrill.
Oh God.
That's
You
the
gotta be
joke.
kidding
You
me.
kids.
I can't imagine.
You
Yeah.
kids. It's not a joke. You kids are crazy.
Wow, that's awful.
No, you wouldn't actually throw your used car batteries in the ocean.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
It's just funny to
thanks
say.
for explaining that.
It's
just
just
a meme.
hilarious.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Moving
that
on.
brings
Yeah,
everybody
really.
up.
What else you got?
Let's talk about never retiring, okay?
Well, we've
we have
tried
done
to
that.
retire
Yes.
Sorry.
several
Yes.
times.
Sorry.
And Catherine said, no way,
No.
you guys are still going to keep working. And
Sorry.
oh, the salt mines, we're back
boy,
again. But anyway, one of my favorite people, Ben Shapiro, is out on a rant. He doesn't want anybody to retire.
What did he say
Because
this
it's
time?
just too hard to figure out what age is the best time to retire. So instead of just figuring that out, never retire. That's his point. Now, John Favreau used to be a speechwriter for Obama, I believe. He wrote this. He tweeted this. He said, "I really wish every Republican would run on this platform. It is cut 456, Sam, and this is Ben Shapiro on just Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. Never take those programs seriously." Okay, Ben. All right. Let's listen to Ben's
No one in
point
the
of view.
United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Essentially 20 to the time that you are 65, which is a 45-year period. Pay in, and then you will receive Social Security benefits sufficient to support you and your family, you and your wife or whatever, for like another 20 years. That's crazy talk. That is not fiscally sustainable.
No, it isn't
65-year-olds
crazy.
are not old in the United States. They're not. 68-year-olds are not old in the United States. Again, Joe Biden thinks he's not old, and that dude is running for president again, and that dude actually is old, and he's 81. I failed to see how a country in which our entire leadership class is 80 plus is telling you that we should have a retirement age of 65. It makes no sense at all.
So he sounds like, he used to be one of the chipmunks, and they slowed his voice down a little
thinking.
bit, right?
Yes. First of
What's
all,
wrong with him?
But slowed his voice down just a little bit. So he thinks for some reason that we don't really need this. You get this money, you retire, you're supporting your family, maybe still, I am, and or just your wife, you're in retirement, fine, you're getting this money, you're living easy, you're finally relaxing, you don't have to work anymore. But he doesn't like that. It's because you're healthy. And you're healthy, that means you should be able to work,
Get
right?
off the couch
that's
and
it.
get out
right,
there, buddy.
Exactly.
At 70.
And by the way, no one has any health problems. It is it's just a beautiful vision of what life could be like without any health problems.
This is sad. Ben,
It is.
How old is Ben? How old is he? Is he 40 even?
Who knows?
I don't know.
He seems
40-ish.
40-ish.
Yeah.
You
He's
have nothing.
probably-
You don't understand anything.
He's one of the pseudo-intellectuals that MAGAs have latched onto. And a lot of people who may not be a MAGA, but they think that because he sounds smart, that he should be taken seriously.
Yeah, he's 40 years old exactly, actually. So
You nailed it.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. I think if you want to work, you can work as long as you want. If you want to stay active, if you're in good health, work as long as you want. I enjoy working. I don't want to sit around and just collect unemployment
Exactly.
or Social Security or
Depends
Medicare.
on what your job was.
Right. Yes. If you're engaged with your job and you enjoy what you're doing and you're healthy enough, keep working. I think it's good to stay active. But him saying that it's too young for everybody at 65 to retire,
Right.
I
Well,
get.
He's talking
it's
about
crazy.
people who maybe write for a living. Keep writing because that's not going to tax your body. But there is
Yeah.
a large portion of this country who take out our garbage for
Yes.
us, who do all kinds
Hard
of
labor.
hard labor.
Yes.
Oboe players lose their embouchure, and eventually they have to hang it up. I'm just saying.
But that's true. A lot of people have very difficult jobs. Their joints, their muscles, their bodies are starting to break down a little bit over time.
And which president was it that decided we needed to take care of those people?
And because, genetics, that has something to do with it as well. It's not just your former job.
Right.
And there's also some, data out there to support different ages for different races.
People have different ages that their lifespan basically has been determined, and we're looking at these are the statistics from the 2019 to 2021. And by the way, it dropped. Life expectancy dropped because of COVID-19.
Right.
And we can thank Trump for that. He was on top of that. Okay, for whites, it was the age is 76. That's what your life expectancy is. Now, I think for women it's like 79, and for men it's 74, and somewhere in between it's 76. For blacks, it is 70. Used to be 74. Hispanics, 77 is the life expectancy time, and for Asians, 83. Wow, that's okay. That's quite up there. But the worst group is the American Indian, Alaska Native, 65 years old.
Is that right?
Life expectancy for those individuals. So that is what you can expect, and it's a very wide range, as you can see. So just coming up with what we have right now, the retirement age is 67, something like that.
Yeah.
If we go with that and give people an option and a choice. But Republicans, they think that everybody should have this freedom to make these choices for themselves. But, of course, they're out there advocating no choices at all.
Kicking out the chair legs.
Yes. It's so completely opposite of what they seem to be saying normally. So they go around and they espouse taking everybody's freedom away. Social Security, no, it's not really that important. Let's just take it away from everybody.
That's it.
And by the way, if you paid in for the last 30 years, screw you.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to remind everybody we are going to be live this Sunday at High Noon Saloon for St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be fun there. With John and Gordy will be there along with 3 bands. It's going to be a blast. I know Rocker is going to be there.
Oh, this is a Max Inc. thing.
This is the Max Inc. thing, and it's this Sunday from noon until 4. We'll be there along with Rocker and 3 bands. 3 bands. So join us at High Noon Saloon.
High Noon at noon?
Sunday, yes. You got it.
We're going to be celebrating early.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. And I would assume they might have some kind of colored beer of some sort.
Perhaps some green beer.
Colored beer. Class acts. Class acts.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Who knows what they're going to do. The specialty brew pub beer.
Yeah.
Would they allow a color in it?
I don't think that's right.
Would they think that'd be...
Isn't Guinness from Ireland?
Cool.
Or is that England? Probably England. Guinness.
I think it's Ireland.
You can't make it green. It's black. Just saying.
I'm not sure.
That's my contribution.
Yes, you can't do that, but you can put it in a lighter beer, some kind of lager, perhaps, some ales. We love ales in America.
You got to wear green on Sunday. So if you're coming to High Noon Saloon, get in there. Why? Why?
I don't know if I have anything green.
I don't either.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm wearing blue.
Get into it. St. Patrick's Day. My God.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this scooter. Oh my gosh.
What is that?
It is an LED.
Is that a Segway thing?
No,
it's
an
a regular
actual
scooter, but it's got lights on it.
Lights.
He looks like he's in a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Is that Tom Cruise?
It might be. He's got a flashing light on his backpack, too.
Oh, he is not going to be hit. I will not be hit by a car.
That is so cool.
Okay.
Which way is he heading? I got to try and get him on the State Street cam.
He's going
the other direction,
going
Sam.
downstate. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Coming up, 7:49.
Well, he looked like he came right out of the game Tron.
He did.
Right?
He was Tron.
Coming up, we've got some tickets to give away in our next hour to a Legacy Dinner Theater in Wisconsin Dells. The Liverpool Legends, the Beatle Band, is going to be up there. We've got a pair of tickets in our next hour. Also, a story about pot smoke blanketing L.A. Oh, my God. Wait till you hear this.
Can't wait to smell it.
Yeah. Nice back time.
I brought this. This is a brochure from 2015.
Really?
Newsmax.
Trump's?
And they made some predictions about what would happen if Trump wasn't elected in 2016. Huh? And it's fun. It's fun stuff. You know. David Horowitz.
Gordy, when did you say you're giving away tickets?
In our next hour.
Next hour. Okay.
Yep. All right. So we're going to get to that eventually. Should we do the the Robert Hur thing, the special counsel?
Sure.
Cut 50501. 50501.
500 cuts we're up to.
So how many digits is
4
that?
months.
What's that?
So how many digits is that?
Legacy Dinner Theater.
That's 3 digits.
501.
501. And
Got it.
500 and 501.
Oh, 2 different cuts. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was confused by that too. I thought he was making a big number out of it. 500,000.
That's why you asked. Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. The capital city, Madison, is waking up. A lot of traffic.
A lot of traffic.
Yeah, this is more traffic, I think, than the one next to the radio station.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice day today.
Here from every day.
It's beautiful. I know it wouldn't be great, although they're closed on Mondays. But that's one thing. But Tuesday through Friday, that would be fun.
How hot did it get yesterday? Like 70?
It got 70-ish. Yeah. Today, mid 60s.
Okay.
It's clear this morning. Some clouds moving in later. Maybe some rain tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Well, yesterday they had some hearings and it didn't turn out well for Robert Hur, and he's the special counsel that took a look at, he interviewed Joe Biden, and he came out with his report, and he trashed Joe Biden with personal statements instead of why he was a special counsel in the first place. And he mentioned something that the megas picked up on. They really beat this one to death, and that is that Joe Biden forgot the date of the death of his son, Beau. Mm-hmm. And it appears as though that isn't the case.
Right. When they actually looked at the transcripts, he didn't really forget that. He was pretty close to it.
And here's some audio on it. It's cut 500, Sam. Let's listen to what happened during those hearings.
And I want to give you a chance, since the transcript is out, to correct the record on an important point. Very sadly, your report on page 208 says that Mr. Biden couldn't come up with the date, the year of his son, Beau Biden's death, when in fact in the transcript it shows that you asked him the month. And do you know what he said, Mr. Hur? He said, "Oh God, May 30th. Would you like to correct the record? His memory was pretty firm on the month and the day.
Congresswoman, I don't believe that's correct with respect to the transcript, but if you could refer me to a specific page, I'd be happy to look.
And my second document, to clarify for you, sir, Mr. Hur, from the transcription, page 82, the words are President Biden's. What month did Beau die? Oh, God, May 30th. A searing memory. I ask unanimous consent.
Without objection.
All right, so he was corrected. And in fact, he stuck with it, as you could hear. He said, well, no, that isn't true. And of course, she referred back to it again.
Right.
And he saw it. And, and he didn't. Didn't say much after that.
Stupid thing to be biting down on.
Well, and the Republicans were all over him about, well, why didn't you prosecute? You know, how come this didn't go to court? How, you know, why aren't you? And he was very evasive about that.
Right. Exactly.
You know? Right?
Yes, he was.
I don't understand what the point you're making there.
Well, I'm saying he was getting hammered by both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans were not happy with him because he didn't take this further and, try to charge them with something.
Or holding on to documents.
To the documents. Because they charged Trump,
Yeah.
So they should charge Biden. So he was getting it from the Republicans, and then the Democrats were after him about
it wasn't intentional. The presidents have taken papers like that as well. So it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't intentional. Trump did it intentionally, tried to hide it intentionally, shipped them later intentionally, even while they were
lied about it.
Yeah, it's even getting more complicated now. Some guy coming out saying, well, yeah, as they were going in to get these, he was shipping papers out, boxes. It's getting worse and worse and worse.
Stupid. You guys are, I don't want to out you in your age, but 80 is these guys, the president candidates in their 80s. That's the new 70. It's just not that big a deal. You don't have to be 100% 40 years old to be president.
Right.
Not remembering the date of his son's death, that's just horrifying. I have to remind myself when my parents died, it was in the last 5 years, for God's sakes. I have to think about it.
Right.
It's trauma.
It's crazy to have actually said something like this in this document, even though it is the opposite of what was quoted in his own documents. I don't know. I don't even know what to think. Marjorie Taylor Greene was on all of this as well, but she also made a huge mistake in regards to that as well. I have this cut 501. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's see.
We've all been questioning his mental capacity, and he had this pen in his hand. I had given it to him as he walked down the aisle, and when I yelled out at him and I said, "Say her name, Lincoln Riley," he picked up the pen, and he had it right there. It's easy to read, Lakin, but he said Lincoln Riley.
No, you just said Lincoln Riley.
What the hell is she talking about?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the woman who was killed by an immigrant. She actually made a mistake by describing that name as Lincoln Riley. As you could see, the first mention of it in that quote.
Yeah.
Then she corrected it by saying it's Lakin Riley. And then she criticized Biden for saying Lincoln Riley. Now, she made the mistake herself by calling this girl Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's kind of complicated. and it was like a momentary thing that Biden just threw into the speech, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
was an ad lib.
Why is she even talking about shouting after the president? Who do you think you are?
Right. Shouting it out, with Derek Van Orden also shouting out liar.
Yes.
Again, these aren't adults. These are juveniles sitting out there doing their thing, the bully on the playground, basically.
Yeah. Well, and who's the Republican that just announced yesterday that he's leaving Congress because he can't take it anymore?
Right.
He just said, and he's a Republican, and said, enough. I can't do it. I'm leaving at the end of the week.
Exactly.
Hanging it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to find that.
Yeah.
But he just made that. In fact, that was late yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening.
I don't doubt
We've got
it.
the
That's
story
Ken
here.
Buck.
Ken Buck.
There's a GOP
Buck.
and then there's MAG, and they are not the same. And I'm beginning to feel sorry for Republicans.
Exactly.
I really am.
Real
Republicans.
Could you play 502, cut 502? This is Ken Buck mentioning why he is leaving the Republican Party completely, just getting out of Congress.
And I don't need to spend my time here. We've taken impeachment and we've made it a social media issue as opposed to a constitutional concept. Mike Johnson's ability to talk me into staying here is going to be about as successful as his ability into talking me into unconstitutional impeachments.
There you go. He just revealed that obviously they know this is unconstitutional. They shouldn't be doing any kind of impeachment hearing at all. But still, Ken Buck is leaving. He's walking. He's tired of this whole thing. And he was one of the most partisan individuals that we had in the House.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. John and Gordy, along with Catherine Lake, live at Short Stack Eatery. We've got another hour ahead of us. First up, news, weather, sports. We'll be back with a whole lot more, including why pot smoke is over L.A.
Okay. Ken Buck.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the guy's name.
Me neither. I know that guy's name like Buck. Okay. All right, Johnson. We got to get Johnson. This is going to be... All right, I think this is yours. I think I just did that. I think it's fine. All right, I'm going to get to... we're going to
Really
get
just
to
tap dancing.
Ron Johnson here for the next bunch of stuff, and that is cut 458 and then 459.
Got it.
Nobody here. Is that Cavalli?
Yeah, another guy.
Oh,
just a person.
Just a guy.
I think.
Oh, he's coming in. It's John Cavalli.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, we'll put that on hold. We've got John Cavalli in here. Hey, John. How are you?
Hey, John. Gordy.
It's been a long.
I'd love some coffee.
Yeah. It's been 30 years or so.
Yeah, welcome to 1991.
Yeah, right?
I know.
Watch my bag, it's holding on to me.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to come over here?
Sure.
Wow.
We're in the little news break here for another couple of minutes, a few minutes.
Oh, you
So.
mean it's not the soybean report?
Yeah, that's right.
No. I think we got headphones over there for you, too.
But we'll let you get settled in here before we.
This is the latest book.
Oh.
The latest one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The latest compilation, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So I'll let you get your own because you know what you like and all that.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Excellent.
Two on the left are
Yeah, I got to get some coffee too.
Stretch your legs.
No, I'll use this.
Doing this up at home, I'm just sitting at the desk, just never moving for 2 hours. Oh, what is this?
The Tao of Igor.
Huh?
All right,
We
we're
should,
gonna have to get into your, I know, little defensive stuff that you're into. I know, I got it. But perhaps a little reminiscing, no?
Oh, no. You see, time is no meaning anymore.
Now you have to get right on that. So when we get into it, you got to get right on that mic.
Okay. How's that?
Yep.
Well, yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close.
Oh, there's Catherine spit all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wipe that off. She gets a
So
little
did you
angry.
grow up in Madison?
No.
Where did you grow up?
Oh, it's a long story.
Okay.
I was born in Manchester, England.
Oh, no
as you
kidding.
can tell from the accent.
Ah.
Me and Morrissey.
Oh.
And was in England from birth to two, moved to the States, the East Coast, moved back to England when I was 10, and moved back to the U.S. when I was 20.
Oh.
Sister has an accent.
Yes, because she never moved back to the... I used to have an accent. I've got tapes of me back in 1980, and it's a total British accent. I've become an accent sponge.
That is crazy. Because we've known each other for quite some time, and I never noticed the accent. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's well. If I'm someplace for a couple of years, like my family moved all over the place.
You're the Zelig of languages.
Yeah.
Right?
I try not to be. I've been actively working against the Wisconsin accent.
Got about 1 minute.
We're about a minute away.
Oh man, you and
did
me
you come
both.
to UW? Did you come here to go to UW? Is that it? Okay. Now you did some John and Gordy cartoons, comics.
Yes.
We've got some somewhere.
Well, no, we actually don't have them.
You had a few.
I had it. You had a panel, a cartoon with us, and I can't remember. I just don't have it. I don't know whether it was an editorial cartoon that you did.
No idea.
If it was in Cap Times or
Yeah,
Isthmus
30
or
seconds.
What's that?
We'll see.
State Journal.
30 seconds.
Most likely State Journal.
Oh.
What was it? The Journal?
Here we go.
I'd say 30.
John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go. It's John and Gordy, John and Gordy, John and Gordy, John and Gordy. In the morning, in the morning,
in the morning.
it's John and Gordy, it's John and Gordy, John and Gordy.
Yeah.
At the break of dawn, get your coffee on. John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go.
Mad Radio, WMDX, the John and Gordy Show, as you might have heard there in the song, 92.7 FM, and of course 1580 AM, broadcasting from the capital city, a couple of blocks away from the Capitol.
That's
and,
right.
we don't have to deal with the Republicans anymore. They're taking a 10-month vacation, which most people do.
And we're live at Short Stack Eatery at 301 West Johnson, at the corner of Johnson and State, and we were here until 8 o'clock this morning.
We would like to welcome our guest, our very first guest at the eatery, and it is John Cavallo, cartoonist, editorialist, columnist, the whole shooting match, and plus game
Author.
inventor,
Yeah.
author, that's right, and just one thing after the next. Since the old days that we knew each other, way back when, you were doing columns for the newspaper.
Yeah, I wrote
State Journal, right?
Yeah, I started at the Daily Cardinal here at the UW, and I went from there to the Capital Times, and from there to the Wisconsin State Journal, where I was a feature writer, a strip cartoonist, and editorial cartoonist, and eventually they had me inputting the calendar.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I
We're
remember
doing everything.
A little bit.
I saved a whole bunch of articles, and you had written about the Family Show, earlier programs that we were part of.
Yes.
And you were a critic at that point, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, it was all good, positive stuff. That's why we stayed friends. But then your wildlife, caught on. Obviously, took off, and then you were on your way. That was it, right?
Well, the old comic strip Wildlife took off for a little bit, and then it didn't.
Oh, it did. Okay,
So,
all right. You spun off some of the characters from Wildlife.
Yes, yeah. There are some of the characters still appear in my. Well, it's not new anymore. It's coming up to its 30th.
Yes, a long
anniversary.
time.
The comic strip Dork Tower.
Right.
It was
Okay.
a comic book, and it's now mostly an online web strip.
Mm-hmm. And you do it a couple of times a week, is that it?
3 times a week.
Okay.
3 times a week. And yes, I was one of the first cartoonists to post their work online this is before Dork Tower, back in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
I started, I was working with a company called Steve Jackson Games down in Austin, Texas. And they had posted some of my illustrations online. And I just read in Wired magazine about this new thing called the web and Mozilla. And
Yeah.
Right.
And so I went over to a friend's house who was a computer scientist and said, "Hey, can we see this?" And the thing was, back then, extraordinarily slow, extraordinarily clunky.
Yes.
But went to the what is now kids today refer to as a website, and the list started coming up. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So very shortly after that, I started posting my comic strip Wildlife online. It would run in the State Journal. It would run with Chronicle Features, Syndicate, and it would also go online. And so I was getting fan mail from all over the world all of a sudden, and it was just kind of really cool.
Yeah.
It was. Nowadays you're sort of used to that, and it's like, oh, here's what's happening in Zambia.
Well, yeah. Well, now you're trying to think of different ways to market it or put it online, or at least feature it online.
Yep.
You did Dork Tower, and that's the thing that has taken off. And now you brought in the Tao of Igor.
Yes, that's the latest collection.
And this is a collection. Now, how many volumes of this have you gotten out?
This is the 10th.
Okay,
volume.
for Dork Tower.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter within the next couple of months because none of the web strips, these are all collections up to this point, have basically been the old comic book. Dork Tower was a comic book in the 2000s, the early 2000s. And it was relatively successful. Ended up selling like 500,000 copies of the comic book in the 32 editions it was printed in, the issues. But the online strips, there are about 2,300 strips online, which have never been collected. And so
now they are.
It's going to start now, yes.
So we're talking with John Kovalik here at Short Stack Eatery. And John, tell us a little bit now about the gaming end of this, the board games. How did that all develop, and what's that all about?
Well, I've been a gamer pretty much since I was in school in England back in the late 1970s.
Okay.
Playing, the first, well, not the first, old Avalon Hill board games, Squad Leader, classic games like that, Kingmaker, Escape from Colditz, and I've always loved gaming. It's just been, it's a great way, to spend time with friends. There's the whole social aspect of gaming. It's interesting. It's fascinating to me.
How did you come up with Apples to Apples?
Oh, gosh.
How did that idea? I mean, it seems like a very simple, easy game.
Fast forward 30 years.
Okay. All right.
So the late 1990s, mid to late 1990s, I was growing very dissatisfied at the State Journal. I was a feature writer, and I loved the newsroom. I loved the atmosphere of the State Journal. I missed the people so much. But I was always writing about what other people were doing, what other people were accomplishing. And occasionally I'd have to interview like a new cartoonist who would be picked up from the Syndicate. And I had to interview the creator of Foxtrot. It's like, so tell me, what's it like being a successful cartoonist? It must be fun.
Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You must enjoy life a great deal. And my wife, actually before she was my wife, Judith, we were 6 weeks away from the wedding. And my wife said, honey, you're miserable at the State Journal. Just quit and I'll support you. And so 5 weeks before the wedding, I quit my paying job with insurance.
Okay.
I just started up this, well, again, having been a gamer for all this time, I started publishing a magazine, a gaming magazine actually approached me to create a new comic strip for them. And this became Dork Tower.
Dork Tower, right.
And Carson the Muskrat was sort of imported from Wildlife because I just loved drawing Carson. And then I came up with a whole batch of new characters. It started running monthly, and I started attending gaming conventions, and I started talking with the companies who I had always loved their work. Steve Jackson Games. I began doing cartoons for them, for their in-house magazine called Pyramid Magazine. And then a local businessman who was also a gamer saw that I had illustrated some card games for Steve Jackson Games. There's this game called Illuminati, New World Order, which is it's a hugely fun game, and it takes all of the conspiracy theories and makes them very
that'd be
silly,
great.
and like who controls what and everything. But he was forming a new company in Madison, and he wanted me to be part of that. I was a little sus about this all. It was like, oh, okay, new gaming company. What can go wrong there? But the first game we came out with was one that he designed, which was called Bosworth. And this was back in 96, 97. And Bosworth is a terrific chess variant. It's a fun chess variant, but it's still a chess variant.
Yes.
And you don't form a company to make a chess variant. Fortunately, the very first gaming convention we attended down in Columbus, Ohio, a game designer came up to us with this giant sprawling game he had invented, which was called Apples and Oranges. And this was, it had so many bells and whistles. It was a hugely complex game with lots of moving parts. And so we agreed to meet with him to check it out, because this was totally new to us. It's like, oh, wow, somebody's bringing something to us. That's odd and strange, but he does not look like a serial killer, so okay.
And there were a lot of them.
Yes.
A lot of serial killers who were
gaming,
gamers.
yeah.
And serial killers. This is Wisconsin.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, so after one of the days at the show, we were at the bar at the hotel, opened up this giant game, and it was not a bad game at all, but there was so much going on. And one small part of this game was you had a hand of cards. And you had 6 or 7 red cards, and then a judge. There would be a judge who's not mentioned before in any other part of this game, but all of a sudden, this one aspect, you had a judge, and your judge would turn over a green card. What's the most reprehensible? And everybody would play a red card face down, and the judge would choose. And at that point, the founder of the company said, "Wait a second, this is the game."
Exactly.
And we moved all the huge board and everything else, everything apart from these cards, off to another table. And we just started playing with these cards. And it was a very simple thing back then with with nouns anybody would know. But we couldn't stop talking about it. It was a totally new concept. It was a totally new idea that we'd never seen anything like this before. And the whole drive back to Madison from Columbus, we just could not stop talking about this game. So we began working with the designer, and we did a lot of work on our own, just tightening it up, changing it, bringing in things like flavor text, so you could use any noun whatsoever. You'd have an explanation at the bottom. I was playing a game called Magic: The Gathering back then, and the rest of the company wanted to make the cards the simplest they could be, so everybody would know what they were. And it's like, that's no fun. If we just put some flavor text on the cards, then anybody can play any card. Elizabeth Barrett Browning, sure, that's reprehensible. Jeez, but and so they basically said, okay, smart Alec, you go and write this. And
that was
so for weeks I was on our couch on my old laptop, just yelling to my wife, "Honey, what's funny about the Kennedy assassination?"
Really?
"Honey, what's funny about high school bathrooms?" Type of thing.
That's how
"Honey,
people
what's funny
start
about
off.
mud?"
Yeah, but being serial killers, that's how they start off normally on the
yes.
couch asking those questions.
Interesting stuff.
But yeah, it was a phenomenal game. Nobody's seen anything like it ever. It basically changed gaming, or at least the sort of big box store casual gaming scene. Because before that, all the games you could get were essentially trivia games.
Yep.
Great stuff. John, we got to take a quick break.
Sure.
We're visiting with John Kovalik. It's John and Gordy along with Catherine Lake. We're at Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison, at the corner of Johnson and State. Back with more with John Kovalik after this.
My bailiwick, I have not really dug into that. But the gaming, yes, I have one.
We're back in like 40 seconds.
Yes.
So,
I have a quick question.
okay.
Stay where you
A little
are.
more than that, 70 seconds. Still.
You want to call him? No, I think I'll just lean in.
You know, his sons are in.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I play a lot of games. Yes. They're always in the basement.
Are they making games though too?
My oldest son is 25, and he has made a role-playing game. Oh. And they're putting together a manual on it. And I says, "Is it simple?" You know, I'm trying to think. You know, do you have like a site that you're kind of teasing people with? No, I don't have. You know, I'm just trying.
And then at some point we want to find out what's the best way. You have a website. I mean, what are your main?
Dorktower.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, dorktower.com, right? Yeah.
15 seconds.
We're coming back in about 15 seconds.
But he's banking everything on this thing, and I'm thinking, do you have any other ideas? Are you moving on to something? But he's got like a group of 5 friends. At radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. And a very good morning to you. The John and Gordy Show with Catherine Lake in the background at this point, because in that chair, it's John Kavaliker, special guest this morning, cartoonist, columnist, and book writer as well. And we've got a question here from Catherine Lake.
From the gallery, if you don't mind, because I've known John as long as you guys have, pretty much. And
Time has no meaning anymore.
I brought your game to Maine for my annual sojourn with my family, Apples to Apples, and they loved it. We made it an annual tradition for a while. But what was unique to us about the game, what you just mentioned, is that there's a judge, there's opinion. Mm-hmm. This is not Monopoly.
Yep.
This is not, what is that, Risk? This is an opinion game, so that it makes you engage with one another, and laughs are automatic. But when I went to dinner at your house a couple of weeks ago, we played another game of yours, because this is just one of like 300 games that you've been involved in, quite literally, I think. Yeah. And it was another opinion game. Is that your thing?
Yeah.
Opinion games, you know what I mean?
Yeah, games with the judge mechanic.
Great question.
Not
mechanic.
Specifically, but it's a wonderful mechanic. And as far as I know, Apples to Apples was the first with that. And then Cards Against Humanity came along, and other games came along with the judge mechanic.
D&D was not opinion, was it? Or was it?
Well, not really. I
mean,
yeah,
that's not.
D&D's role-playing, but, the Dungeon Master certainly has opinions at times. Mm-hmm. But no, role-playing one thing. It's a huge thing, actually. It's bigger than it's ever been these days. Board games are bigger than they've ever been these days. Card games are bigger than they've ever been these days. It's quite remarkable. Like, there are, not exaggerating, between 1,000 and 2,000 new games coming out every month.
Wow.
Now,
well, that many?
Yes, and it's difficult for store owners to keep up with this and to know what's coming out. So having a track record behind you at this point in the game, no pun intended, is actually a good thing. People in the gaming community around the world know my work. They know my illustrations. They know the games I've worked on. I get approached by several game companies from all over the world every year to illustrate games, to work on games. I've got my own designs, which I need to get out there and start pushing a little more.
Yeah.
Where around the world are you really popular? I mean, is there?
Oh gosh, everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. I will be invited to conventions in Germany, in Italy, in France, in Australia, and Brazil.
Really?
And there will be huge signing lines. It's when I was in the worst/best was about a decade ago in Germany. I was at this giant games convention called Spiel, which is German for games, held in the city of Essen, and they had nobody stopping the signing line. And so for 3 days,
wow,
I was you try to be polite because these are people.
Sounds outrageously nightmarish.
It's
like a story to a movie.
Yes, it just kept going. I mean, the line would shorten, and then people, it's a short line, and get back in line.
Jump in.
And the worst thing was worst/best thing was my German publishers were handing out blank Munchkin cards, which Munchkin is the other big game.
Right. Okay.
It's more of a nerdy thing than Apples to Apples, but it is a huge bestseller around the world. It's been translated into 19 languages. And so having a blank card, everybody wanted me to draw on the card.
Oh, good
And
Beautiful.
it went like the 3 days. It was like a 7-hour, 6.5 hour, and then another 7-hour signing day.
How cramped up were your hands?
Oh, at the
My
end,
God.
You could come out with
Kidding
another
me.
a volume of cards that you drew up for
Yes.
people.
I've actually asked Steve Jackson Games to stop printing blank Munchkin cards. So yeah, I will. I'm going to Modena in Italy in May for a convention I've been invited to. I'll probably go back to Lucca in Italy, which is the giant multimedia convention in around Halloween. And then I come back to Madison and I'm essentially anonymous.
And you're okay with that?
I'm kind of okay with that. I would like it if some local bookstores were better about stocking my books, but
I've heard that story. My wife is a writer, and trying to get it stocked, it's crazy. All right. Now tell us about Dork Tower a little bit for people who may not be familiar with it. Dorktower.com. Check out the website. It's all there. Explanations about all the characters, how to pronounce them, why they are there. They're all gamers in this Dork Tower.
They're all gamers. It began as a purely gaming comic strip. It was in this monthly magazine or bi-monthly magazine. And from there, it kind of grew to be just about more my life and my friends' lives. The web strip started out as just kind of a random thing. But in last, we did a very successful Patreon campaign to help fund it back in 2018. And that really let me devote a lot more time to the strip. So the strip now covers so many different topics. At the start of the Trump administration.
Oh, that's right. You became a little more political in your comics.
Yes. I quit editorial cartooning because I don't enjoy politics that much.
Yep.
A lot of my friends who were editorial cartoonists love politics, love hanging with the politicians. I couldn't stand it. So I was, but then, my comics have always been somewhat political. They started, Wildlife began daily at the Daily Cardinal, and I had one of Carson the Muskrat's cousins was a Sandinista. But at the start of the Trump administration, and then again with the start of the pandemic, I had to make a conscious decision because many of my friends were in pain from this. Many of my friends were literal and figuratively in pain because of some of what was going on in the world at that time. And so I had to think, am I going to use the comic strip as escapism and just avoid everything and make it a place where people can just come and relax? Or am I going to tackle some of the stuff head on? And for my mental well-being, I prefer tackling it head on. This is a trash fire.
It is.
I'm going to be writing about that.
Yeah.
So the readership actually exploded when I started bringing more social aspects of the world into the work. I lost some readers, but for the most part, it just
in Dark Tower, the only animal character, is much.
Yes.
We're talking with John Kovalik here at Short Stack Reading. Yes?
Okay, go ahead. No. We have still so much to talk about.
I know.
We're all professionals here.
Yeah, we're up against a break here. But talking with John Kovalik here at Short Stack Eatery in downtown Madison, 301 West Johnson. We're going to be here for about another half hour. So if you're in the area, you can stop by, say hi to John and Gordy and John Kovalik and Kath Lake. We're all going to be here for a little while yet. But we've got news and weather. And John, can you stick around for a few more minutes?
Sure can.
We'd love to have you. We've got news, weather, and Pam Yankee with the farm report coming up shortly. And also a pair of tickets to give away to Legacy Dinner Theater up in Wisconsin Dells for Liverpool Legends. We'll be doing that in our next half hour. Stay with us for more of John and Gordy live at Short Stack Eatery.
Sing along.
Yes. It's the John and Gordy Show. As we were saying, it's the John and Gordy Show.
Underneath the glass.
In the morning. As we were saying.
There you go.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
Coffee is fantastic, actually. Yeah, I can ramble. So at any point, just like
Yeah. When I start doing I'm giving John hand signals here, like we got a minute left or 2 minutes left. I want to ask you about what you're working on now, or what's around the corner for you? If you got a new project or something, without tipping your hand too much or whatever.
I want to get to taekwondo stuff.
Okay.
How long have you been doing that?
About 7 years.
Really?
Yeah, I started with my kid.
Really? Interesting.
Let's
save it.
Save
Save it. Yeah.
Oh, I can repeat myself.
But and I'm also going to bring this up, but I knew a whole bunch of people who were into taekwondo once.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was my third shift bookbindery job.
Oh wow.
Back in the early 70s. So well anyway, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. No, it's hugely fun.
But I want to get into age.
Okay.
Because as we get old, our flexibility, our
older,
yes, our flexibility wanes a little bit.
Oh right? Yeah. Tell me about my hook kick.
Your what?
My hook kick.
Yeah. Okay.
Hook kick.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Write that down.
The hook kick. Okay.
I know it's a kicking type of self-defense.
Yes. Yeah. It's where something like karate is more hand technique.
Yeah.
Taekwondo is more technique, but there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing the board breaking, which I adore, by the way. You see the weapons.
Really?
It's like I love sword form. I love staff. I love nunchucks. Oh my God, I love nunchucks so much.
Is nunchucks in that in taekwondo? Nunchucks? Yeah. Okay.
They call them sangjobon in Korean.
And you're good at that, right?
I love it. Yes, I was state champion last year. For my
No,
age group.
God. Okay. Well, let's talk about. Let's
All
talk
right.
about that. Okay. All right.
Good stuff.
So it's unbelievable that we're back on the air.
Yes.
And another station that just barely ekes into Madison. Right? But the app works really well.
Yeah, I was listening to it on the way down.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really solid. And that's honestly, I think that's most people listen to radio.
Yeah.
Because,
That's
Well, that's what I'm
everybody
thinking,
tells
in
us.
their
Yeah.
headsets, on their on their phones.
I'm a huge fan of the BC6. It's the music I love. And there are a couple of disc jockeys who really have got this John Peel vibe with the stuff they like. What's the phrase? Caretaking. Curing. But yeah, it's like I'll listen to that even when I'm in London. It's like, okay, just listen to it on.
Yeah, isn't that great? I know. So we're trying to get this thing on. But we have it online. You want all the social media, and it's just the way to go. It's the way it has to be now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, over the air is kind of crazy.
I cannot remember the last time I tuned into any conversation. I'll have an app playing on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Plugged in, or it'll be Sirius XM. One of the two. As far as pushing a button to get an actual.
Well, we all graduated to Sirius XM because it's in our vehicles now. So,
oh, sure. Thank you.
Everybody has vehicles with XM in it.
Cream and 2 sugars.
So we're all into that, and so the whole idea is to be on in some kind of media, social media now. So,
We're about a minute away.
I was with you. I didn't listen to I never listened to over the air radio.
And honestly, towards the end, it's like I used to like the music 92 FM would play. As from the 90s on, it's like I was playing music I was interested in.
Right. Yeah. All right.
John, can you get a little closer to your mic when you're talking?
I can try.
Okay, thanks.
It's
Talking to
full
John Kovalik or John Peters?
Yeah, John Kovalik.
Are you talking to me again?
I'm assuming he's talking to the amateur.
He's talking to you. Yeah, you got to stay right on.
It's very directional. It's straight in. So
10 seconds.
Here we go. 10 seconds.
All right. even though it picks up all the kitchen. It's only directional for voices.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Old West Exterminators, the only exterminators in town who kill your roaches after giving them guns and allowing the roaches to draw first.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM at 1580 AM on your dial and all over social media. And try out the Civic Media app as well. You can call us or text us, give us a message there, or also any kind of social media source. Just let us know. And we do have a phone number that Gordy, he loves phone numbers. 608-879-TALK, 879-8255.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Wait, that just went out over the social media.
No, I don't think so. We are at Short Stack Eatery, and I want to mention they have some special offerings today because it is, what is today? Is this tomorrow? This is tomorrow because tomorrow is Pie Day. See, it's 3/14.
Great. Pie
so
Day
they have
again?
Pie Day offerings tomorrow. Right. You can order a pie on their website until 7 p.m. tonight, and you can pick it up tomorrow. So that's a good deal. And you can get key lime pie by the slice. They've got some special deals there. So just go to the Short Stack website. Is that right? Okay. And then you can order up for Pie Day tomorrow. And we're visiting here. We're continuing with John Kovalik, who has stopped by here, and we've known John for 30 or 40 years. Of course, we haven't seen him for 20 or 30 years. Well, I guess, yeah. So we're reminiscing with John Kovalik here this morning at Short Stack Eatery.
That's right. We gave John a big boost in his career.
I owe it
we
all
do
to
that with a lot of people.
I owe it all to you.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about...
Great. Can we get a piece of the action on some of these games that are selling worldwide, millions of dollars coming in?
DarkTower.com is the place to check out his cartoons, and he also has the Apples to Apples and other games as well that he has put up. And Mattel bought it.
Yes.
And that, was a nice financial windfall for you.
It was. I was actually against the sale at the time, but I was very much a minority owner of the company, and the majority owner was just sick of all of us, the other three in the company.
Yes, I
and
guess
he
that
just
happens.
wanted out. And so when you're doing $24 million a year in sales, you don't really have the petty cash to buy a majority owner out. So
that is true.
And
that's a lot.
Yes, it was remarkable. Every year, the sales would double. The game was that new, that groundbreaking. But we sold 4 million copies on our own, and the majority owner wanted just out. He was done with the whole thing.
That's what a lot of people do. They come up with these really great products that become very popular, and what happens is you sell it to a major buyer, and you make a lot of money that way, and you can retire.
It was when Mattel pulled up with the money truck, it was like, okay, let's.
That's it.
This sucks, but it could suck worse.
Yep.
I knew in my heart that Apples to Apples would become a cultural phenomenon, and I wanted to be along for that ride. We had worked so much on this game, we'd put so much into it. So it was very much, mixed feelings about that.
You still get something for it?
No. Mattel.
Okay, one-time sale. Okay.
Yeah. So I like to say that Apples to Apples bought our house, and Munchkin pays the property taxes.
All right, there you go. All right.
All worked out.
And it
great.
pays for your lessons in Taekwondo. I want to get into that.
Yes.
Taekwondo. How did you get into Taekwondo?
Yeah, Taekwondo is just not judo or karate. It's something.
It's Korean. It's a Korean martial arts.
Right.
And my child, who 7 years ago, their school had an international day, and Mike Moe, the head of Moe's Martial Arts at the time, now known as Level Up Martial Arts, came to school with one of the other students and gave a demonstration. And the kids were fascinated by this. They were breaking boards, very, very light boards, but they're having a hugely fun time. And Mr. Moe is very charismatic. He's actually an actor, a very successful actor. He played Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in America.
You have to
in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay. Yeah.
And he just there was I think it was Apple TV had the movie Ghosted with Chris Evans, where he was Mr. Moe, was the now Master Mo, 6th-degree black belt, but he played the central villain in this. So, but he is extremely charismatic, and I saw that all the kids loved this. And I went up to talk with him after the demonstration. It's like, I'd like to talk about Taekwondo lessons, and he said, for you. And I was like, oh, no, for my child.
Yeah. That's how it happens, by the way. That's what happens to parents.
How it happens is, being in the West this long, there was the offer of a free uniform if you were a family member.
There you go. That's it. That's the attraction. I got it.
$25 for 4 classes and a free uniform. And I'm thinking, okay, Halloween's coming up. So I started taking classes with my kid, and I just really thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was a great parent-child time. We essentially belted up together every time, going from white belt to orange to yellow to camo green.
I had a similar experience with my kids. They were at kicks, karate. I think that's what it was. But they just loved it, and the thing that I didn't realize is that they love the discipline part of the sport. And that's what kind of attracted me to it. And unfortunately, they offered some kind of college education in regards to karate. And no, I wasn't going to buy into that.
Yes.
So the lessons ended at that point. But you kept on going with Taekwondo.
Yes.
You even took a break, right? And now are you back into it again?
Well, here's the thing.
But you're older and everything. Your body is creaky. And barely
Yeah, exactly. How's your hook kick?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
The hook kick.
Let's hear the hook kick thing.
Okay, so ouch. There are many things in the martial arts that kids can do that people in their 50s and 60s simply can't.
Right.
Okay.
Fortunately, at Mo's now Level Up Martial Arts, there are many parents who take classes with the kids, and we tend to form like the back line when you're lining up.
Okay.
There'd be 2 or 3 rows of kids, and then at the back it's the parents because you line up by height and in general. So it's sort of a support group.
It's like a level group. A lot of these exercise videos that you could see, there's always the person in the back that is doing it very easily. Hardly any movement whatsoever.
So you've seen me doing burpees.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. But no, so my child and I, we became black belts together.
Man, black belt.
2.5 years ago. And
You're
that was
serious.
probably one of the best parenting days of my life. I never thought that we could be able to do this together.
Yeah.
It was, we went to the black belt ceremony. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But the year before that, and up through last October, I started developing arthritis in my hip. Not from the Taekwondo, but essentially from the fact that for a good 30 years, I was 30 to 40 pounds overweight. And so I finally, the child and I got our 2nd degree black belts last October. And I never thought that was a possibility. I just sort of assumed once we became 1st degree that the kid would just fly off on their own and just outpace me and everything. But I was able to just about keep up. And so we did our black belt test, and 4 days later, I was in for hip replacement surgery.
Wow. Are you recovering from that, getting back into it
yes.
again?
I just had my first lesson since the black belt testing on Monday.
That's great. That's great.
It was actually fabulous. It was great being back on the mats.
You get the movement back.
It's getting the 2 things which astonished me
were
I got a far greater range of motion than I had before. Like I can now do a hook kick.
Good for you.
I can now do round kicks. Things which required a pivot, and the pivot is when the hip would just go all kinds of berserk.
I would think the back would be a situation as well.
Not really. There's you're normally very steady in your poses. You're not. There's not a lot that's going on with the back. It's going to be legs and hands and feet and arms.
We're talking with John Kovalik here at Short Stack Eatery with John and Gordy and Catherine Lake. And John, what is your type? What do we call it? Cartoonist, comic, gamer? What do you go with in your car?
Bon vivant.
Bon vivant?
Yes.
John Kovalik, bon vivant.
Could we get a pronunciation on that?
Oh, let me line that up. You keep talking. We'll get the pronunciation.
Okay, you know, when
I'm
I was
doing Duolingo French at the moment.
Wait,
I'm pretty
do you
sure
really?
it's
really? Oh, really? Fantastic. That is the actual way to say
no, the
it.
T
then.
would not be pronounced in French. Bon vivant.
Oh, okay. There, see, we don't even need to look this time.
Okay.
But
right.
back in the early 70s, I thought very seriously about taking Taekwondo because everybody, I was working a third shift job in a bookbindery, and all of the supervisors were Taekwondo experts.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, these guys were really, really good. But they were, doing these kicks all over the floor. It was just really, obnoxious. So I decided not to get into it. But, at the time, the spy TV shows were all using karate, and everybody was into this thing, and Taekwondo was just a better version of it.
Yes.
I thought.
I love Taekwondo. Again, it was just, had Master Mo been doing karate or judo, I would have gotten into that.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is not as fun. That's
Really?
a lot of time on the ground. That's kind of where you're back.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
So you practice every day, or
I try to.
And you do the nunchucks and everything.
Nunchucks, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but let's get into that. You're really good at this.
I enjoy it.
But
yes, you won a
your
state
award,
title or something,
yes,
right?
Yes.
That means you're very good at
in the
this.
age group. Actually, it could mean that, or it could mean the fact that I just haven't died yet.
Yes. Do you
this
get
age
hit?
group.
Do you get hit with the nunchucks? I mean, doesn't it happen often enough?
There is there's kind of a padded weapon which you can use in sparring. But for the most of the weapons, nunchucks, you got me saying it now.
Well, it's
Shangshobang.
It's nun.
Nunchucks.
Nunchucks. Okay.
Shangshobang, bow staff, sword. You're just doing a form. So you're running through a series of steps, a series of moves.
Okay.
And I just adore those. I mean, bow staff is classic. Sword is fun as heck.
Yeah.
And nunchucks were my specialty. And so I'm the 2023 state champion, American Taekwondo Association, Wisconsin state champion.
Wow.
In sparring and weapons.
No, you've bonked yourself on the head with those things once. Come on.
They're padded, but it still hurts.
It can, but you get good at it. And in fact, I can do it now blindfolded, which was actually one of the things Mr. Mo suggested for practice with the nunchucks is just doing it blindfold so you know what the hand positions are going to be.
The force, Luke. The force.
Yes.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Well,
we're talking with Bon Vivant, John Kovalik, here at Short Stack Eatery. Got a few more minutes to go here, but we're coming up toward a break here. But before we go, we've got a couple of tickets we want to give away to Liverpool Legends, which is happening at up in Wisconsin Dells at the Legacy Dinner Theater. Now, these tickets include dinner and the show. It's this Saturday, and if you would like to go, you can give us a call right now. 608-879-8255. That's 608-879-8255. Again, it's Liverpool Legends. They're the Beatles band. They had their own theater down in Branson, Missouri for many years. It's one of the top Beatle bands out there. And again, Saturday is the show, Saturday evening. It does include dinner at the beautiful Legacy Dinner Theater in Wisconsin Dells. So if you're interested in those tickets, call us now, 608-879-8255. 8255.
All right. Well, we want to thank John Kovalik for stopping out today.
You're calling right now? You want to win those tickets? Okay, well.
And dorktower.com. Check out the website as well. And if you want to get into Taekwondo, that is a fantastic sport, and stay fit that way. And I wish we had a little bit more time here to talk about all this stuff. Should we hold them over?
Yeah, we only have a minute break here, but if you want to hang around just a few more minutes.
Yeah, we have a few more things.
Review things. Okay, all right. What's that? Okay. Again, Short Stack Eatery, that's where we're at. Tomorrow they have a Pie Day offer offering because
Yes.
tomorrow's 3/14. So if you want to order their pie online, you can do that until 7 p.m. tonight. You pick up your pie tomorrow, and they also have key lime pie by the slice. Just go to shortstackeats.com. That's shortstackseat.com. Back with more of John and Gordy and bon vivant John Kovalik. This is the last segment.
Gordy,
we got like
Gordy, you there?
minutes.
Yeah, Gordy's right here.
What
What's up?
information do you need from the people for
Just
tickets?
get their name and
Get the
phone
typical
number.
stuff, the phone number and and their email.
Yeah, email. Just all the usual. Get their name. It's 2 tickets. It's will call, so they'll have to identify themselves at Legacy Dinner Theater. Just go to legacydinnertheater.com, and you can give them the address and all of that. Or just give them legacydinnertheater.com, the phone number, and then you'll call in the will call information, or I will.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Right after we're back in, I'll get all that from them.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
Actually, I didn't get the guy's name. Otherwise, I would have you say it. But
Oh, you got a winner?
yeah, I didn't get his name though. And we're almost back in. So
All right.
Okay.
Give it to us. Give it to us. He's got him. He's got him on the phone. This is Mad Radio, WMDX, the John and Gordy Show with Catherine Lake, and our special guest this morning, John Kovalik. Bon vivant. Did I say that correctly?
I don't think
no
so.
T, right?
Not even close.
Okay,
You know what?
thanks a lot.
You know, we met. So we're Mad Radio, but we knew each other at the old Mad Radio. I remember you stopping out and being
WMAD.
on the show a couple of times out of the cornfield out there in Sun Prairie.
Yeah.
Do you recall that? Some of the old days?
I do. When I first moved to Madison, I latched onto 92 immediately.
Sure.
And I got to know many of the disc jockeys, the programmers, everything. It was just a terrific scene.
Yeah.
And it was, for the most part, it was the music I enjoyed.
Mhm.
So
fun days.
Yes.
It was a great radio station out there. Even though we were in the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah, the building was kind of a dump in the studio, but it was very laid back and very just an open
very
atmosphere.
nice. I like the current.
And a funny thing about it, I was looking back over some of the old newscasts. I recorded them. And I saved all this stuff when we were shut down. Yep. But I found out that the entire music library was stolen. Somebody came in and robbed the station after it was closed down, and they took all the albums.
Shut down by the bank. Yeah, they shut the bank shut it down, but somebody had a
Somebody
key.
snuck in and they got everything.
That's kind of sad, but also kind of impressive.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. Now we were talking. You were born in England. You went back to England. You have a slight English accent, which you're trying. You don't really have anymore.
I don't think I have anymore. Every now and then somebody says, "Oh, I hear it." It's like, that's good because I don't. I've been. Yeah.
But you said you don't want to get the Wisconsin accent.
I've been an accent sponge all my life because we moved all over the place in England, in the States.
Yeah.
And every now and then my wife and her sister will slip into pure Fargo.
Oh, no kidding. Really?
It's like, I'm just going to vote. I'm going to vote on a boat in the moat. And, oh, yeah, that's Brett Favre. He's got like a cannon.
There you go. There you go.
So I just, nothing against the great state of Wisconsin, which I truly love. This is a wonderful place. And I've lived here far longer than any place I've ever lived in my entire life. But I will find myself catching, myself with a couple of these pronunciations.
Right. When I was, when at the broadcast school, they tried to drum that out of us so we didn't talk like Wisconsinites. And I'm from Milwaukee, and it is really, really bad in Milwaukee. It is terrible. It was a South Side neighborhood. Oh my gosh, it was just outrageous. But now, if you listen to some of the radio stations, the local radio stations throughout Wisconsin, that's the thing that they want. They want that Wisconsin accent now.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Even I listen to BBC Radio 6, and like my favorite disc jockeys, have got these very thick Manchester accents or up north accents, which you would never hear on the BBC 10 years ago. 20 years ago, certainly not. It was all English, the London, the posh London accent. So it's great. But I did catch myself saying wacky a couple of days ago.
Okay. John, I want to ask you, what are you working on now? What's ahead for you in the near future?
There's some big news which I can't.
Well, come on, tell us.
Well, the thing I can say is I'm finally collecting all the web strips. There are 2,300 comic strips online, most of which have never been collected in book form. So there will be a Kickstarter within the next month or two for the first collection. It'll be called The Dork Web.
Wow, I like that name.
But these will be strips from like 2000 to 2002. And it's very, very odd going back revisiting your work from 25 years ago, certainly. Yeah. It holds up a little bit better than I was worried about. My business manager has refused to let me change anything. Not allowed to rewrite anything. It's going to be sort of warts and all. I'm hoping I'll be allowed to correct the spelling mistakes.
There you go.
There's a huge thing coming down with the game Munchkin, which I'm working on now. And Munchkin, again, is other big game of the hundreds I've worked on.
You did the artwork with them.
Yes, I've done 7,000, more than 7,000. I lost track at 7,000 illustrations for the game Munchkin. Oof. It's been, there are dozens of supplements to the game. There are dozens of variations. There's a science fiction version of Munchkin.
Oh, really?
There's fantasy, a basic fantasy Munchkin.
Yeah.
Zombie Munchkin, Cthulhu Munchkin. And again, this is really big in the geeky community around the world.
Yeah. And you can order it online too. It's on Amazon.
It's worldofmunchkin.com. Is the Steve Jackson site. But it'll be everywhere. It'll be in stores. Like you can't avoid it in stores.
I see a chainsaw.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, it is on Amazon.
Or if you'd rather not support Amazon, it's also in local stores like I'm Bored, Pegasus Games,
there you
Misty
go.
Mountain,
Sure.
Noble Knight. I forget the name of the one just down here on State Street. It's relatively new. It's a lovely store.
Well, you promoted Pegasus Games.
But yeah, well, there's a store in the Strip called Pegasaurus, which is basically Pegasus Games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was very good friends with the owners of the store when it was on State Street, and then it moved out to Odana. And now it's undergone a change of ownership, but it's still a fabulous store. And so it's going to remain Pegasaurus in the comic strip. There are a lot of Madison references that people in Essen, Germany, or Lucca, Italy, are probably not going to recognize.
Right.
I've been drawing A Room of One's Own. No, not A Room of One's Own. I've been drawing Mystery to Me. One of the characters is a librarian and a book fanatic. And so whenever there's like a book strip, I'll put them at Mystery to Me, which is just such a marvelous store. So I love throwing these things in. And I'm sure, people in Brazil are going, what?
Hey, we are all out of time, John.
Oh.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for
going
John
back.
Kavalik.
Again sometime.
And again,
definitely.
If people want to find out more about everything that you're up to, the best website to go to is dorktower.com.
Dorktower.com.
That's it. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Oh, it's been a blast.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, let's do this again in 30 years.
Okay. Sounds good. We appreciate it. And we want to thank our friends here from Short Stack Eatery, Alex and Sinead and everybody behind the counter and in the grill back there. And also Catherine Lake and her sister Sherry visiting from Virginia. Sam behind the controls back at the station. John and Gordy will be back here next Wednesday morning. We'll be here tomorrow morning on the air bright and early at 6 a.m. We hope you have a great day.
Take care.
So long, everybody. From Short Stack.
As we were saying, let the sun shine. John and Gordy.
You gotta get wet. Oh, there you go.